Hello, and welcome to Keylingo Live. My name is Frederick Marks, and I'm your host today. And we want to thank you for joining us for the latest edition of the show, where we discuss business topics, interview experts, and engage our online community. On this show, we like to invite guests that have something valuable to share, have interesting stories, and generally like to have fun. If this is your first time or you've joined us on previous episodes, we're happy you're here. There's really something for everyone here. And we're always happy to provide a platform for any professional with ideas and insights worth sharing. So please let us know if there's a topic you'd like us to cover or a guest that you'd like us to invite to a future episode. If you've not already done so, we want to remind you to please be sure to subscribe to Keylingo and follow us on LinkedIn and YouTube so you'll always be in the know when we publish future episodes or cover a topic of particular interest to you. All right, so before we dive into today's topic, please remember that we'd love to hear from you both during and after today's show. We love to see comments. Let us know where you are in the world, and please don't hesitate to provide feedback as the show progresses. Today is a little bit special because we're changing gears from previous episodes. If you were here for any of those live events that we just concluded, we had a very interesting series. We called it PM Life Hacks. And during those events, I invited a variety of Keylingo experts to discuss ways in which they gain productivity both at work and in their professional lives. It was really fun and insightful. This event, on the other hand, is what we call an open discussion. That means that we may only do this once, or we may have future episodes that keep the conversation going. So, with that, I'd like to invite today's guest to join me on the screen. Are you there? Let's bring those folks in. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. Oh, there's
Hi.
another
Hi
one.
everyone.
Wow. Welcome, you guys. This is awesome. We've got four of us on the screen here, different continents represented. And I just want to take just a quick minute and have you guys introduce yourself. Maybe just, well, your name's on the screen, so you don't need to mention that, I guess. But tell us your position at Keylingo and how long you've been with the company. And let's start with you, August.
Okay, thank you, Frederick. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I'm August. I'm the director of production at Keylingo. I've been working at Keylingo for 8 years now. And I've already participated in a live event featuring my favorite PM life hack, which is checklist. So I hope you enjoyed today's edition. Thank you for being here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, August. And by the way, you see Augustina on the screen, but she's affectionately known as August here. All right. So, Lou, let's go with you next.
Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us. Well, I'm the Director of Technology and Innovation at Keylingo. I have been working with this amazing team for almost 6 years. And I was lucky enough to share the first episode of the PM Life Hacks with August. And now we are together in the first episode, in the first open discussion of Keylingo Tech. So I'm super excited about this new topic.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lou. And last but not least, Alexis.
Hi Fred. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining us here today. I'm Alexis. I'm the Technology Solutions Lead here at Keylingo. I've been working in the company for 4 years now. And I also participated in a past live event in which we talked about a technique that is called brainstorming. And I did have a great time in that event. I'm pretty excited about this one. So thank you for inviting me and thank you for watching this.
Awesome. Thanks to all three of you for joining me today. I'm super excited about today's event as well. We're covering a topic that I think so many of us in our world, which is language solutions, and in probably everybody's world, they've been bombarded by technology. And we've got our Director of Technology and Innovation on this show today. What you heard in those introductions, which I think is really great, is that we've almost got 20 years of combined experience here on the show. That's excluding me, of course. Mine doesn't matter. I'm just facilitating the conversation today. But these are three amazing experts that are going to dive into this topic of technology. And what I think I want to start with is just reminding everybody that we're going to talk about Keylingo's journey specifically as it relates to technology. As I mentioned a moment ago, technology is something that we hear about every day. We read about it every day. If you're on LinkedIn, there's countless posts about technology. There's a lot of sometimes fear, sometimes uncertainty, definitely uncertainty around technology. And we had all of those same feelings too. And we thought it would be great today if we talked a little bit about Keylingo's journey, because we've been on it for a while, and I think we've learned some really great stuff that could be helpful for other people in the audience today. And we hope that you guys engage with us in the comments and provide feedback. And so with that, we're going to talk about a couple of questions today and kind of do a round robin discussion here on the panel. And the first question that I want to ask you guys is about what triggered the technology revolution at Keylingo. And it really was a revolution for us. And so we're going to dive into that topic, and I think that you'll find something super interesting for you. And as you're seeing on the screen here, Keylingo's been around for a little while. Since 2004, we're about to enter our 20th year. That's really exciting. And we've had lots of really great milestones over the course of those years. And these people on the screen have been around for a lot of those years. But when we started, there wasn't a ton of technology involved. The iPhone had not yet been invented. So there have been obviously a tremendous number of technological improvements, advances, changes. Some of you might be, I don't know, happy about or disappointed in some of those, but there they are nonetheless. So August, I want to start with you and ask this question. What, in your mind, triggered the technology revolution at Keylingo?
Okay. If I had to think about that, and I think none of you will expect what I'm about to say to be related to revolution or to technology actually. But I think what really triggered the revolution at Keylingo was the ISO implementation. This was a great milestone that we achieved, and that converted Keylingo the way it is today. Because I think that thanks to ISO, we changed the mindset entirely, and we started thinking about, or in regards processes, in terms of quality assurance, in terms of customer satisfaction. And it's not that we weren't thinking about that before, but the implementation of this norm gave us the framework to start working like consciously on it, let's say. And how does this relate to technology? Well, actually, it's kind of funny, because when we were audited, one of the first questions we were asked were, "What is technology? What is your technology?" And we have never thought about technology as a stakeholder. So that was like the first step in which we take a step back, and we're like, okay, this is our technology. We're going to work on it. We're going to exploit it. To take all the necessary processes to take the most out of them. And we actually now have a technology and innovation team, which was not there before. So I think that ISO provided most of the framework for us to be who we are today, apart from this awesome team, of course.
Yeah, that is it's very interesting that you identified that as the trigger. And I do think that is one of the triggers. And by the way, I want to remind the audience that, once again, this is our journey. ISO certification isn't necessarily a prerequisite for other companies in our space or any other business context for the technology revolution at your company. But for us, I think it revealed some gaps. Don't you agree, August? Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, we were doing everything we are doing now with ISO, but now we are doing it like consciously and with a framework, with processes involved. So we really growth. I think not only like as a company, but also as professionals and individuals as at Keylingo. So that was really great too. It is great. So
Yeah, I fully agree with you. Looking back on that time in our history as a company, like you said, we were conscious of customer success, customer satisfaction, internal success, and how we can fulfill our purpose as a company. But being conscious about establishing a framework, and in our case, ISO certification was the framework that we chose as a company to set us on our journey, not only for technology, but for lots of other things in
totally.
Keylingo. But I do agree with you 100% that ISO certification was important for us. And those of you watching today, I really encourage you because we want to know. You know, we're spread around, and there are literally thousands of language services companies out there, and there might be people joining us from other industries on today's show. So, what was it at your company that triggered the technology revolution for you? Because for us, it was transformational. And looking back on that, I think that was a really good choice for us. So yeah, August, great identification of one of the triggers there. Okay, so let's keep the conversation going. And once again, folks, I'd just like to remind you to please follow us on LinkedIn and YouTube so you're always know. Check out our website at keylingo.com and just get connected with us. All right, so next, let's talk to you, Ale. What about your perspective? You've been with the company a long time, just like the other two guests that we have today, and you were directly involved in the technology revolution at Keylingo. What do you see in your mind was the trigger?
Well, for me, what triggered the translation revolution in Keylingo comes together with the ISO implementation, because we had an improvement in the organizational structure of Keylingo. The job of each person was analyzed and updated, and people assumed different roles. So, and even though we are all dedicated to project management, these new roles reflect in a better way the experiences and the interest of each of the members of the operations team. So, I mean, we all have different fields of expertise. Some of us are more interested into the linguistic aspects of the projects. Others are more into marketing and creative thinking or processes improvement, knowledge management, and there are plenty of them. And even though these different interests exist, we all share a common idea. We all want to be experts in what we do. So in order to be experts at what we do, to achieve this desired expertise, we understood that we needed to take out the most of the resources that we have available. And there is a way of doing that. First, studying deeply the use of the tools we work with. And second, we had to evaluate how we can benefit from them. So as I mentioned before, the technology team was created with that aim. And from that point to the present, it has been like an incredible path of continuous learning and accomplishing goals. And what I really like about this is that this is a never-ending path, because once you reach a goal, you set a new one with all the knowledge you learned from the previous one. So it is a repetitive process that where the team is continually evolving, and it is continuously capitalizing on growing wealth of knowledge and expertise. And well, it is a nice thing. And we can say with this in mind is that the success in reaching a goal is not only a destination, but it's really a continuous journey. So we all should embrace this notion that there is always room for improvement, and there will always be new challenges to tackle, and that, as Ago mentioned recently, that will make us grow professionally and also as a company.
Wow. Great insights, Ale. I love that. And just to review, so far, August mentioned the technology revolution at Keylingo was started in her mind by the ISO certification process that Keylingo went through. And then, as a result of the ISO certification process and revealing some gaps that we had as a company, we reorganized the structure of the organization. And one thing that I want to just point out, and this is true in a lot of companies. Let's face it. Not everybody has a bottomless pit of money or budget to tackle or advance on whatever their journey is in technology. And Keylingo definitely had challenges in that regard. But I think that our culture, our belief that constraints breed creativity at Keylingo, it gave us sort of the opportunity to reflect, like, we're not going to be left out of the technology revolution that's going on in our industry and others. We just need to figure out our path in our own unique way. So we didn't have the budget to go out and hire, let's say, a CTO, for example, Chief Technology Officer. And we didn't have the budget to go out and buy, even though we wanted to, and we looked at it, just buying, technologies off the shelf with the idea that, wow, once we plug this in, we'll be able to play. So we had to figure out how to manage that internally. And we came up with the idea of just asking you, Ale, you, August, you, Ludmila, and other members of the Keylingo team, hey, we don't want to get left behind by technology. So we need to really get to work on this. It's been revealed by our ISO certification that we've got some gaps here. What do we do? And interestingly, three of you raised your hand and said, hey, I'm interested in technology. Wow, we didn't know that before. So we created some new roles in the company, and it's been great. So if there's an insight here that we can share with the audience, and once again, guys, please share your insights, share your thoughts about this. We tackled or set out on our technology revolution, our technology journey, by tapping previously untapped resources within the company. And looking back on that, I think it was a great thing that we did. I think it was a win-win for Keylingo as a company and for you as individuals in your own professional journey. Would you agree?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, couldn't agree more.
And also for our customers. I mean, it's a win-win to everybody.
Good
to
point.
us as Keylingo as a whole, as being part of Keylingo inside, and our customers, and we as a professional, and everything. So
yeah, awesome. Well, two great triggers of the Keylingo technology revolution. We still have our director of technology innovation that we haven't asked yet. So, Ludmila, thank you so much for joining us today from Belgium, I might add. So, thank you so much. It's later in the day there, but in your mind, what triggered the technology revolution at Keylingo? Oh, live TV, folks. We've got a mic issue. That's all right. Okay.
Okay.
There
thanks
we go.
Thanks to the tech team behind the scenes.
Production team is hard at work. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Right. Let me just repeat the question in case the audience was thrown off. What in your mind triggered the technology revolution at Keylingo?
Well, first of all, I couldn't agree more with Agu and Ale. I think that the ISO certification and the organizational structure definitely paved the way for us. And in line with their ideas, I think that something that definitely changed the game for us was giving the importance to thoroughly analyze our technology stack. As you said, we realized that we needed to analyze before going out there and buy tools and everything. We needed to sit down together and analyze which was the technology available, what technology did we have, and how to use it in our favor. So we realized that we needed to spend time in investing time together as a team to analyze these technology tools and get together to discuss new opportunities in which we could implement the technology that we already had available. And as we know, in the last 3 decades, technology has changed the way in which we think, we work, we connect with people. And we have been adopting a lot of technology advancements, mostly without thinking about it. So when I was a kid, I could have never imagined that now I would have a phone that I could take everywhere with me, that I could take photos of my travels and send them to my family in the other side of the world, or do a video call with them. And today I couldn't imagine my life without all of those advancements. But at the same time, we have been starting in our daily life to adopt technology applications, everyday applications, with a purpose in mind. So, for example, now that I'm traveling a lot, I always like searching which is the best app to buy the cheapest plane tickets, or which is the best application to book for accommodation. And I do that consciously and with a purpose in mind. And I think that that is exactly what we have been doing at Keylingo and what has changed our mindset, as Ago said. Together with the ISO certification and the organizational structure, we recognize the importance of investing time in analyzing what we have and what can we do with what we have already, and then analyze, okay, we may need to invest in this new technology. And this brings me to a specific experience, a really nice experience that we had. We adopted almost a decade ago, when I was not at Keylingo at that moment. We adopted Plunet as our technology business management system. And in the last past year, we invested a lot of time in making the most out of this tool and understanding how it can play a key role in helping us achieve our goal, measure our goals, enhance the communication with our customers, and understand our customers. And all these analyses eventually led us to attend the Plunet Annual Summit in Berlin. And I was lucky enough, and I had the opportunity to participate as a speaker and share Keylingo's story, this story that we are talking about now. And I think that was a milestone for us.
Yeah. Wow, amazing. Great insight, Ludmila. And wow, what a great picture there.
Yeah.
We were all cheering you on from afar for that speaking engagement. And we would like to give a special shout out to Plunet. We have been a Plunet user for almost a decade, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
And over the last few years, recent years since that ISO certification, we have been steadily increasing our use. And I think our use of Plunet, you could characterize it sort of like a river. It was shallow, but now it's more like an ocean. It's super deep and large and keeps growing. And Plunet has been an amazing partner for us. You know, Ludmila, one of the things you said in your comments stood out to me, and I think it may resonate with other members of the audience, that sometimes we adopt technologies unconsciously. Oh, there it is. It's available. Let me grab it. Let me see what I can do with it. And I think in a business context, it's not so easy to adopt technology unconsciously. First of all, in our specific context, in our journey, technology represents a tremendous investment for the company, and we have to think about them deeply. But I will say that we went through a period, and I think you guys will agree with me, that we were like, wow, let's just start demoing lots of different technologies. And wow, if we invest in one, then certainly the next day we'll be super advanced in technology, but really not the case. And what I loved about what you said is that, okay, let's stop for a second. You hear the record scratch, the needle when you scratch it on the record there, and say, hold on a second, stop. We already use some really cool technology platforms. Are we optimizing what we have? And I think the answer to that question was a resounding no. And I think that another thing that we learned is that when you do start to optimize the technologies that you have already, it's going to reveal things about technologies that you might consider adopting, more so than if you just ignored what you currently have and start playing around with other things. And so it was a measured approach, and I think it was the right approach. So thank you so much for that insight. And if you're just joining us, I just want to point out you're on a Keylingo Live event. This is an open discussion about the technology revolution at Keylingo. And we just had a really great conversation with 3 experts here at Keylingo about what triggered the technology revolution for us. And we're specifically talking about our path. And the goal of today's show is hopefully you might find something in our conversation today that applies to your organization or resonates with you that you might be able to take back to your team. And please, we hope it's two-way. We want to learn from you. So please share your thoughts and insights. And as far as the topics covered in terms of what triggered the technology revolution at Keylingo, we started out with August that mentioned it was our ISO certification. It was the moment in time that we decided to take a serious approach about establishing a framework for operating the business that revealed that we needed more technology. And then through that process, you notice an interesting kind of flow here. One goes to the other. When we go through the ISO process, we realize, hey, let's consider restructuring our organization to be more intentional about technology. And then finally, Ludmila talked about really understanding your existing tech stack before taking any further steps. And so those were great insights, folks. And I hope that folks in the audience also see that and want to join the conversation or see something that's useful for them. All right, we've got one more question. If you're joining us for lunch today, if you're here in the US, I hope you're enjoying your lunch and enjoying a little break with us. So the next question that I want to pose to each of you, now that we've talked about what triggered the revolution, I want to talk about how do you cope with that revolution? Because we all know that the word revolution connotes a sort of chaos or disorganization or uncertainty or turmoil. So let's start again with August. And let me ask you, August, how do you cope with all of the change and upheaval created by the revolution that we started down on at Keylingo?
Okay, so the other day, someone on the team shared an article from NIMSI, which talked about navigating the winds of change. There was a particular item there which I resonate a lot, which was to welcome change, like accept it as an inevitable part of your life and work with it. I mean, change will come whether you like it or not. I think we all learned this from the pandemic. Actually, we change our mind, our work processes, our life actually. So I think one of the best things you can do is to welcome change, embrace it, and know, of course, that not always things will turn out as you want, but maybe we can learn from that. So yeah, I think embracing change and take baby steps and take like control risks and accept when things don't go as the way we expect is a great way to start this revolution, because it will come. So um,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It will
totally,
definitely come. Yeah.
Yeah.
totally on point, August. And I love what you said about the pandemic. If we haven't learned how to embrace change as a planet, I think that we're in bad shape.
yeah, we
So
can start seeing change as new opportunities, new horizons, and not only concentrate on the things that may not come the way we
yeah,
expected.
yeah,
And maybe those things come and the way you expect it and more. So
that's right. I You make me think of a couple different things that are just always floating around in my mind, and that is um, this quote is "shoot for the moon and land among the stars," so to speak. So you might have a particular goal in mind, um, and you might not reach the goal, and but hopefully through the process of going through the goal setting process and milestones, ultimately you're gonna progress, you're going to move forward. And so I think that that's super super important. And man, I had another thought and it just left me. Consider that a senior. Oh, the other one that I wanted to mention was that is just kind of a philosophy of mine is fail small and fail fast. And that is, you know, I think when we were looking at technologies, there were some instances where when we were demoing lots of things and seeing the type of investment involved, that we could have easily gotten into trouble as
mhm.
and still not have advanced far enough ahead to really address the technological changes that we needed to address. So if you're going to take this path of technology revolution in your own organization, try to find ways, as you said, August, baby steps. And in my mind, when I hear baby steps, I'm like, okay, we're gonna stumble here, especially a baby, right? You take baby steps, babies stumble, they fall down all the time. We do too. We were babies when we started out on this technology revolution, and we fell down sometimes, but
But
fails.
then we learn how to walk. So
That's right. We learned how. So great. Embrace change, people. And let's move on. Let's keep the conversation going. Once again, you're with Keylingo Live, and we'd love to hear from you. Please join the conversation. And next, I want to touch base with you again, Ale. How do you cope with the inevitable chaos and uncertainty and sometimes fear associated? How do you cope with the technology revolution?
Well, I couldn't agree more on taking baby steps and learning from them, and just know that you're not always going to have the right knowledge. So you have to study and learn new things and everything, because I believe that all revolutions starts with having the right knowledge, and having the right knowledge allows you to ask the right questions. And I think you're
Mm,
making a right question here. And I will add one is, how can we improve as a company? How can we be better at what we do?
mhm.
And one of the top answers that will always pop out in my mind when I'm asked myself these questions is upskill your workforce.
All
You
right.
should invest in training programs that will expand the knowledge of your team and will provide them with the necessary skills to leverage this new technology, because we are all learning new things all the time.
Mhm.
For example, at Keylingo, once we started studying our technologies in depth, we also created training programs to share this acquired knowledge with all the team.
Yeah.
And by conducting these programs, we made sure that we all share the same information, and we try as much as possible to avoid gaps in knowledge throughout the team. So with that covered, I think we did not only focus on the educational aspect of the idea, but also we encourage people to be curious and try new and innovative things. And I think this
Yeah.
fosters this fostered us to adopt a mindset of continuous learning, and I believe that this has nothing but benefits, and I'm pretty sure you agree with me on that.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely. Man, you said something in your comments, Ale, that jumped out at me right away. And you said um, asking the right questions. And we're all in the midst of this sort of AI revolution right now. I think if you're on the show right now and you're listening to us, and by the way, that's the first time I've mentioned AI during this whole show. And you've probably been, I don't know, hit with several LinkedIn posts or social media posts mentioning AI already. We've only said it once so far, but one thing I'm sure that you have read is that it's not necessarily the answers when it comes to AI. It's the questions. You have to know how to ask the right questions if you want the output to be the best it can be. And so, yes,
Yeah, totally.
you had to learn to ask the right questions. And upskilling the workforce is the one of the best ways to do that. And so, going back to the previous questions about what triggered it, and we talked about how we needed to better understand the tech stack and things of that nature, upskilling the workforce, and also not being able to go out and hire an expert per se, a CTO that came in with all of that knowledge already. We had to learn it ourselves. And I think that's great. I think that we have a culture of we're packed with lifelong learners. You guys are always so curious and interested in learning more. So yes, upskilling your workforce. So we have embrace change, and we have upskilling the workforce as ways that we cope at Keylingo with the technology revolution. And we've got one more person that we want to enter into this particular question. Ludmila, tell us, how do you cope with the technology revolution at Keylingo?
Well, as you have said, revolution will come, and we need to embrace it and go with it. And I think that it is key to also be adaptable. We need to be adaptable not only at an individual or organizational level, as it happened to us, but also at a customer experience level. All of these, as you said, this chaos and all the information about the technology advancement, everyone is hearing about these, and these advancements are not only changing the language services industry, but it is also changing our customers industry. And I think that is a great moment to speak to our customers, to take the time to understand what they need, and to diversify our services. So we would be able to be more adaptable. And as Ago said just a minute ago, this revolution and the changes can bring new horizon and new opportunities. So I would definitely put everything that we said together to cope with this revolution. And
Totally.
particularly in our case, we know that all customers are not the same, and they have different requirements and needs. And we definitely love having meetings with customers. So we talk to them, we try to understand them and see what are their necessities. And our technology allow us to create customized solution that would fit their needs. So as Ago said, these changes would bring a lot of new opportunities, not only for ourselves, but also for our customers. Uh, for example, I'm thinking of something that we did a few years ago. We created 3 different solutions using 3 different portals. So depending on our customers' attributes and their project's attributes, they're using one portal or the other. And I think that everyone is happy with that, and we are super happy with that. I think that that is super important to be adaptable and to understand that these advancements are not only happening to our industry, but also to our customers' industry.
So true, Ludmila, and I appreciate that insight and sharing just one component of how we adapted to change. And I want to point out something in your comments that really resonate with me, and I'm sure with you and our audience as well, is that we're not going through this technology revolution in a vacuum. We're not the only ones. Everybody is sort of experiencing this at an individual level, at a company level, and we have hundreds of customers, and each one of them is going through their own technology revolution. So if we want to focus on customer success, if we want to add value for our customers, don't we need to talk to those customers and learn how they're experiencing technological change and how we can continue to add value? I think what you said about being adaptable and diversifying our services is so on the money in terms of coping with the technology revolution that it's absolutely necessary to be adaptable, because everybody experiences the technology revolution in their own way. It's an individual experience. It's a company experience. So we talk to one customer and it's going to mean one thing to them and completely another thing to another company. So you have to be adaptable. And such a great comment, such a great insight. And with that, folks, I think that we're going to transition to closing out today. If you're still in the middle of your lunch, you're going to have a few minutes to enjoy it without us. But really appreciated you joining us today. And I've seen some comments come up on the screen that are really cool. And we love having the opportunity to engage with you here at Keylingo. And we ask that you follow us on LinkedIn or YouTube, on our website. Please get in touch with us. And as I mentioned when we started today, this is an open discussion. I have a feeling that we're probably going to have another one of these. It's so and I think
we're in.
Exactly. I think that other people find it interesting as well. And just to review, folks, we asked 2 questions today. We asked our experts here at Keylingo, 1, what triggered the technology revolution at Keylingo? What set us out on our path? And 2, how do we cope with it? And in the first question, August, you said ISO certification was the trigger. And then Ale, you said that it was organizational change. And then Lou, you said analyzing our existing or understanding our existing tech stack. And the second question was, how do you cope with it? And August, you so rightly said you got to embrace it. And Ale, you said that you got to upskill your workforce. And Ludmila said you got to be adaptable. And wow, I'm out of breath. And this has been educational for me. I hope it has been for the audience. And we really appreciate your time today. And we look forward to seeing you on a future Keylingo Live. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Have a great
weekend.
Bye.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.